What is going on, Laker fans? Just adjust a couple things here. Get this all out of the way. Oh, Laker fans, where the hell do we start? Appreciate you guys tuning in. Post-game show after the post-game show. A lot going on here. And I am late. For those who want to point out I'm late, I'm 100% late. I was dealing with multiple losses today. The effing Padres freaking losing at the same time as the Lakers are freaking losing. A lot going on here in the studio. I appreciate you guys being a part of the show. The Lakers are now 0-3 on the season and trying to figure out how the hell to get their first victory. So a couple things I'm going to point out here that we're going to go into after today's game. And Kyle already saying that gave me a headache. I got a headache. I got basically a migraine from everything going on today. Listen to me, Laker fan. This is an open, honest channel here. The Lakers losing that game when you're up 7 points with 2 minutes left to go. At the same freaking time, I walk from the studio. Padres are up 3-2. I come back here. Bryce Harper hits an effing 2-run homer. I got a lot of headaches going on here. Thought I was going to catch a game tomorrow. There's a lot going on here. Okay, let's stick with the Lakers here for a quick second. Let me start off with just this. Before I start reading off some of these comments, let me just start off with this. I can make an excuse for the Lakers losing to the Golden State Warriors, and I could tell you that is the best team in the NBA. It happens. You're probably not going to beat them. But can you make it a game in the fourth quarter? The answer is no, the Lakers can't. They were down 27 in that first game. I could also make a case, if I just want to make some excuses up here real quick, I could also make an excuse and say, okay, well, what about the Clippers? Clippers are one of the teams could potentially come out of the Western Conference. Let me make an excuse for the Clipper game, too, and just say, you know what, that's a really talented team. The Clippers got them, and it was a close game in the fourth quarter. They had some opportunities to win. If I'm going to make some excuses, let me just kind of rattle off a couple. Made an excuse for the Warrior game. Made an excuse for the Clippers game. However, we get to Sunday. In Sunday, you're playing the Portland Trailblazers. Laker fans, I know I don't have to tell you guys the schedule, how difficult it is coming up here. You can't lose to the Portland Trailblazers. You can't. Portland's actually, this is one of those games where you could say, okay, they're kind of on your level. And I know Laker fans don't want to hear that, but it's the absolute truth. The Lakers, they're on the level of the Portland Trailblazers. What the Blazers will fight for this year, which is one of those, top 10 play-in tournament type of seeding, I think the Lakers are going to be in that territory unless they, prove us otherwise. So you obviously cannot lose to a team like this. And then the Lakers right out the gate, they're up 10-2, and you feel like, okay, this might be one of those games where the Lakers just kind of, they go to business, they go to work, understand that the first two games are really tough. And they'll come out in this game against the Blazers and do what they need to do. Somebody's saying here, give the Blazers credit. They're 3-0. You're right, they are 3-0. They beat the Sacramento Kings and then they beat the Phoenix Suns in overtime at home. But the Lakers and the Blazers, it's a similar comp here. I'm not trying to take anything away from the Blazers, but my man, it's the Portland Trailblazers. They will be an 8th or a 9th, 8th at the best, but most likely a 9th or a 10th seed in the Western Conference, I'm assuming, right? I'm assuming if the Pelicans continue to grow and all those other teams, whether it's Minnesota and Denver and Dallas and Phoenix and Warriors and Memphis, there's so many teams in the Western Conference. The Clippers I didn't even mention. And this is a game you have to win. You have to win. You have to beat a game like the Portland Trailblazers, a team like the Portland Trailblazers. Okay, they're fine. They're up. Let me go through this with you guys because I did it in postgame show number 1. This is postgame show number 2. By the way, just a quick shout out here because it's on my mind. I got to 20,000 subscribers on YouTube. Do you know how awesome that is? I really appreciate it. If you listen to this show and the channel, subscribe to the channel. It'd be great to try to get to 25 next and just keep growing this channel. Who knows what happens in the future, but this channel will always be with me. Okay, so Let me point this out. The score is 102-95. Lakers have a 7-point lead with under 2 minutes left to go against the Portland Trailblazers. Not the Warriors, not the Nuggets, not the Clippers, not the Bucks, not Boston Celtics. I think I just named off the 5 best teams in the NBA, at least on paper. So not against any of those teams, against the Blazers. You got a 7-point lead with under 2 minutes left to go against the Portland Trailblazers and you're at home. I want to walk you through every possession from there, and Laker fans, maybe you could help me understand this because I couldn't understand it. So they go up 105-92, and Anthony Davis fouls Damian Lillard. Lillard hits 2 free throws. All right, it happens. Now you have a 5-point lead. Patrick Beverley takes a 25-foot three-point jumper. So basically you're not running a play. There's 0 execution. And now the shot clock is running down and you take a 3. All right, okay, you have a 5-point lead. It'd be nice to try to get to the basket. Maybe use Anthony Davis in that situation. Maybe AD could get to the foul line. Something along those lines seems like a smart possession. Didn't happen. Nurkic ends up getting 2 points for the Blazers on the other end. Okay, now you're up 3 and you got the ball. And what do the Lakers do? They run some clock. Basically, it's the equivalent of like prevent defense in the NFL. Rather than actually running plays and trying to extend your lead, it's, well, why don't we just run clock and hope we hit a bad shot? Patrick Beverley takes a bad shot. Then LeBron takes a 26-foot jumper. Of course, that misses. So Lakers now only up 3. Okay, you're up 3, and now you're under a minute left. And what happens? Anthony Simons of the Blazers hits a shot. So now it's a 1-point game. So it's 102-101. I played basketball my whole life. I love covering basketball. Things happen. It just is what it is. But someone explained to me why Russ would take a shot 9 seconds into the shot clock. Less than that. There was 18 seconds, maybe 17 seconds left on the shot clock. And Russ pulls up and takes the shot. And he said post-game, I was kind of like referencing, he was trying to get a 2-for-1. 2-for-1, you're up. You're winning. You're up 102-101. Just get a good possession. Basically, you needed 6 or 7 things to go wrong at the end for you to lose that game. They go from up 7. Russ takes that shot with 27 seconds left. And, oh, by the way, 17 seconds left on the shot clock. What happens? Dame, of course, Russ misses it. Dame gets the ball, hits a 27-footer. They're up 2. Bron hits one. Jeremy Grant hits a tough shot. Ball game. Lakers lose the game. What am I missing here? What am I missing here? Somebody help me understand this. I know the team needs time to learn, to gain continuity, to put themselves in a position where, they'll hopefully end up gaining stride. The guys like Lonnie Walker, guys like Troy Brown, guys like Pat Bev, Juan Toscano, all these new guys kind of figure some stuff out. I know they need time for that. But that's not what I'm complaining about here on the postgame show. What I'm complaining about here is you got all these veterans on the floor. You're up 7 with under 2 minutes left to go against the Portland Trailblazers. Can we just be smarter? Can we just take the right shots? Can we draw up some plays? Can we at least, if we're going to run the shot clock down, let AD touch the ball down in the post? Have Bron going to the basket? Something that you think makes sense. I mean, I'm not kidding when I say this. When the Lakers went up 7, you need 5 or 6 things to go wrong for that team to find a way to win. And the Lakers found 5 things to go wrong for the Blazers to walk away with a W. It's kind of as simple as that. Now, can I get into other parts of the game? Of course I can. Can I say Lakers now 6 of 33 from the three-point line? I'm going to do my math. I can't. Let's see here. I got a calculator on my Mac here. Let me do the math here real quick, okay? They went 19 of 85. So now 85 plus another 33. Let's add that in. 118. So they're 25 divided by 118. Yes, I'm going to do the whole math here. Lakers are now shooting. Believe it or not, their three-point shooting percentage went down after today's game. So let me kind of just play this out here real quick, okay? Coming into the game, they were shooting 22.5% from three. Coming out of the game, their percentage actually went down. They're now shooting 21% from the three-point line. So they went down by a percentage and a half from the three-point line. They were 6 of 33 from today's game, and there's just another incredibly disappointing three-point shooting performance from the Lakers. And you just go up and down. It's everybody. Bron was 2 of 9 from 3. AD was 0 for 3. Russ was 0 for 3. Patrick Beverley 1 for 3. Lonnie Walker 1 of 5. Kendrick Nunn 0 for 3. Can I raise my hand on this one? Man, I was excited to see Kendrick Nunn this year, and I was excited for this dude to come off the bench. He's done nothing so far. Nothing so far. So hopefully he kind of gets his stuff going, because I was talking about this guy as if he was a freaking 6th man of the year contender, and that's, I'm obviously joking about that. But it's just all around a really, really bad game today for the Lakers to not come out with a W. I told you guys, I'm down for the excuses. The Warriors are really good. They might win another championship. Would be their 5th in 9 years. I'm good with that. The Clippers, hey, on paper they got 12 deep. This is a team that could be playing the Golden State Warriors in the Western Conference Championship. I'm good with all that. You're playing the Portland Trailblazers. The Blazers, this is the closest we've got so far to comps of saying, hey, these two squads are actually, they're in the same conversation. This is a good conversation to have. And the Lakers just find a way to blow that lead, that 7-point lead, and now are 0-3 on the season. Somebody said fire Sliwa. I got to be honest with you. If that's what it takes to get a win this year, maybe I'll go on, Social Security for 6 months or so and just try to do it that way. Something like that. Whatever I can do to help. And thank you for suggesting that. Lakers are really bad. Let's see what else we got here. It's wrong for Darvin to protect Russ's ego and to disregard the players contributing to winning basketball. Okay, let's do that one. Since I got this right here, I'm going to go back to this, okay? Let's see where he checked in. Russell Westbrook entered the game with the Lakers with a 7-point lead, 97-90. Came in with 4:42 left in the game. That's when Darvin Ham puts Russ back in. And he said why he did. He basically said that he did that so that he can have another athletic player in there on the defensive side. So that was his reasoning for bringing Russ back in. Okay? Would I have done it? I wouldn't have, because I thought the Lakers were playing some good basketball at that point. So, it would have been maybe keeping him in. I'm trying to see, when did they take him out? Just so I can kind of give a comp here of when he left the game and see if, what the score was or anything like that. I mean, I guess the point that I'm trying to make is I wouldn't force him back in if you don't feel like you have to have him back in. And, whatever the case is, by the time he came in, I'm not a fan of put somebody in just to put him in. Now, if he thought he could close out the game, then that's a different story. But I'm going to go back to this. If we all want to put this on Russ, who took a terrible, let me say it again, a terrible shot with 27 seconds left in the game, 17, 18 seconds left on the shot clock, and you're up 1. And Anthony Davis, if you go look at the replay, when I tell you AD hadn't even passed half court, I'm looking at the screen, and I don't see AD in the screen until the absolute end. He hasn't passed half court. The only person under the basket was Patrick Beverley. It was an awful, awful shot. However, 2 minutes left to go, you're up 7. Bron taking bad shots. Patrick Beverley takes a bad shot. 0 execution from the Lakers. So, we could look at here and just say, oh, well, they lost that game because of Russ. They didn't just lose that game because of Russ. And that's why I go back to what I just said. I would not have put him in, but there were other plays that happened that to me was more of a headache, or just as much of a headache. Okay, let's read a couple of these. I was at the game today. You could feel everyone's heart drop when Rush took that shot. Knew we were going to lose after that. All right, the Russ situation. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you, Laker fans. I know what to tell you. It's like the example we give when Travis and I do our show. It's like a bad relationship, and you know it's a bad relationship, but both sides are still together, and it's like at some point you're gonna have to have this thing just end. And I think it's more, I mean, even us, like, as much as I cover this damn stuff, I'm like, well, here we are talking about Russ again. Jeez, I'm so sick of talking about Russ. Um, and listen, in my defense of Russ, Russell Westbrook knows how to play basketball one way, and we should not be surprised that something's going to change today or yesterday or tomorrow. It's just not going to happen. Somebody's saying here the Blazers literally weren't guarding him. You're right. And I'll tell you something, my man. If I was the Portland Trail Blazers and I was Chauncey Billups, I think they were putting Nurkic on him. I would tell Nurkic, sounds good. Do not guard him. Make this guy have to shoot a jumper. Make this guy have to hit a shot, which obviously makes him a liability at the end of games. So, maybe Darvin Ham learns from it and decides, all right, I can't have this dude in the game at the end. It's hurting the team. All right, let me read off some of your comments. So if you guys got some comments, put them in right now. Okay, free safety for Russ. How you supposed to find good shots? Not wrong on that one. Well, let me say this. 25, 26-footer when you're up 3 or 5, those are bad shots either way. Just try to get something going to the basket. Or how about Russ? Don't sit on the outside. How about you cut? You try to get to the basket. You be a threat down low rather than doing what you're doing. Now we're getting trade both Russ and Sliwa. I'm going to go back to this. If it is a package deal that helps the Lakers, I'm willing to move anywhere. Wherever you guys need me to go. You can't be 0-3. This is horrible, Sliwa. This team needs time. Don't disagree. By the way, they need time. And I could actually tell you something. There are some things about the Lakers so far. I like the way they play defense. I like some of their aggression. I like the way some of their role players play. I don't disagree that the team needs time. All I'm saying is if you're up 7 with 2 minutes left to go against the Portland Trail Blazers, close out the damn game. Finish the game. Laker fans, they got coming up, okay? At Denver coming up on Wednesday. Denver got Jamal Murray back. Michael Porter Jr. is back. Denver went to Golden State and got a win on the road. What was that? I think Friday night or something like that. They went on the road and got a W, and they did that without Jamal Murray. That's a tough damn game. Then you're at Minnesota. So you're going to go on the road now for 2 games this week. You're going to play at Denver, at Minnesota. You could easily be 0-5. You could so easily be 0-5 before you even freaking blink. So that's why I'm just going back to, yes, they need time, but beat the Blazers when you're up 7 with 2 minutes left to go. That's all I'm saying. I don't think I'm asking for too much here. I have a migraine. I basically have a headache here. The San Diego Padres, all they had to freaking do was win 1 to go back down to San Diego, and they lost all 3 effing games Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm never watching baseball again in my life. Never going to watch it. At the same time, the Padres are blowing their lead. The Lakers are blowing their lead. Both of these teams are doing it together to just troll me. I mean, I literally have the game going on. Lakers lose. Game going on, Padres lose. It's like, okay, have a great Sunday, everybody. Have a great freaking Sunday. You need a spa day. You look uneasy. Don't you freaking come at me. Just kidding. Just kidding. All right, what do we got here? We need a pint, Sliwa. I do need a pint. Drank bourbon yesterday. I went and I just give me a bourbon. Just give me a bourbon. My girl's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I just need bourbon. Okay? Go home and have 5 more of those. All right, let's see what else we got here. Okay, I'm gonna go to something here real quick, Laker fans, because right now these comments are either saying they're happy I drank, or they're, I got some people on here. Why are you a Padre fan? Well, I'm from San Diego, California. Okay, I'm from there. Remember Little Italy, San Diego? Remember that? That's where I'm from. Okay, so people are asking me, trade Russ. All right, I think it's safe to say, Laker fans. By the way, appreciate you guys being here. Can I tell you guys something? It's really nice to get back to the post-game show after the post-game show. I know in the off-season I'm not doing that much because I kind of like reacting to games. But this is just kind of great to be back here. So, okay, so let's do this. You can't keep on keeping on, right? You can't. Something's got to happen with this situation with Russ. And let me tell you this. It's not just for the Lakers. I'm talking about for Russ, too. Like, let's just for a second. Let's for just one quick second put yourself in Russ's situation. Let me give you guys an example of something, all right? And I know Laker fans aren't going to care, but I'm going to tell the story anyways. I got to the arena early today. You know, it's an early start. Pre-game show starts at 11, so I got there maybe around 9:15, let's say, something like that. So game's not going to start till 12:30. I get there early. I'm going to just start working and prepping for the pre-game show. There are cheerleaders warming up and doing their practice routine and everything else. That's going on the court. And then, so the Laker girls are doing their warming up. And then there's one player that comes from the tunnel by himself. There's nothing else going on. The cheerleaders almost kind of have to move a little bit just to give him an opportunity to do his thing. It's Russ. So Russ is coming in 3+ hours before tip-off, and he's trying to get his work in, okay? So I put out a photo, and, I just said, Russ is here 3+ hours before the game. It got a lot of attention, and it got a lot of attention for one or two reasons, and this is going to tie back to the whole, what do you do with Russell Westbrook? It got a lot of attention because you got some people saying, okay, hey, that's cool, I respect that. Look how early he's getting to the game. Well before anybody else, literally well before any other players getting to the game, and he's trying to work on his game. And then I got the other side of them saying, well, why is he even working on his game? His game is, he's trash, or he's this, or after the game, people are taking that picture and saying, well, that didn't help, whatever the case is. The situation for both sides is really, really bad. And if you cannot trade Russ, or you're not happy with the compensation that you have to give up, Lakers got to give up. This is not a normal trade. You got to give up, let's just use those two picks, 2027 and 2029. That's it. You don't have picks after that. Yeah, you have one in 2023. Yeah, you have some second rounders, but think about where the Lakers could potentially be in 2027 and 2029. Those hold a lot of value. So the Lakers understand, if we go make that trade, we better be getting stuff back that we think now we could compete in the Western Conference with. Because why would you be giving up those picks if you can't compete in the West? Maybe the time isn't today. Maybe the time isn't tomorrow. However, I think it's a real conversation that Darvin Ham has to have, Russ has to have. Hey, is it better for Russ to just go home? We're going to eventually try to find a trade partner, but this ain't working for you. This is not working for us. Look at Russ's image in the NBA right now. People go out of their way to find a clip, and so every time something goes bad, I had a listener on here saying they were at the game, and when he took a jumper, everyone kind of groaned. It's a bad situation for Russ, and certainly I think it's a bad situation. Darvin Ham, every question he gets is about Russ. LeBron was getting questions about Russ. AD was getting questions. I mean, it just won't stop. It's relentless. Russ doesn't help himself either in the post-game show. He's just kind of doing his own thing. I think this is kind of where I'm at. If you already are going to try to do everything you can to trade the guy, and you already know that there really is not value to having Russ either on the floor, anyone you make a trade with, they're not trading for Russ. They're basically trading to get rid of his contract because it's an expiring contract, so that's going to come off the books, and they want that draft compensation from you. Is it not better to just turn the page and say, okay, Russ, you go home, you go do your thing. Eventually, we're going to find a trade partner, and we're just going to do our thing and try to play with the guys that we have and just kind of rip that Band-Aid off. Because I don't think, to kind of think of the way last year happened and to have, we're 3 games into the year and there's already this much attention on one player that really is not, does not really have value anymore in the NBA, or at least on the Lakers. Aren't you better off just saying, all right, let's just move on? And again, that doesn't mean go make a trade that you don't want to go make. Don't make the trade if you don't want to make the trade. But I've heard people say, well, once you do it with Russ, you send him home, he can't come back. That's it. Like, that relationship is over. But that doesn't seem to be something that I think, personally bothers me. There's just so much effing attention towards a player that is not going to have, obviously the impact that you were hoping for a year plus ago. And, here we are today, a year after, or a year later, and we're still in this position. Okay, or here's another option. Limit his minutes. Bring him in off the bench. But all that noise won't go away if he's still around, because it hasn't gone away up to this point. So I don't tell you guys want me to tell you, Laker fans. Can't send him home. He loses value. No, there's no value, buddy. Nobody's going to trade for Russ for Russell Westbrook. They're literally going to trade for Russ because that $47 million is gone after this year, and they want some draft compensation. Plus, they want to give you back some contracts that go past this year, so they want to clean their books a little bit. That's the value. The value is not in the player. The value is in what you're getting back and what you're giving back that the Lakers are going to have to deal with. All right, a couple more of these. Let me read. Somebody else saying, by the way, saying stretch him or something like that. It's an awful idea. $47 million is off the books at the end of this year, period. So nobody's stretching anybody. You're going to keep him on that roster, and then you're going to clean your books after that. Okay, a couple more. Why am I still on here? I'm way past 20 minutes. 20 minutes is like my threshold. Sometimes I give you 15. Sometimes I give you 17. When I give you 20, I feel like I did my job. Why wasn't Pat Bev on Dame in the final minutes? I don't know, bro. Dame had 41. You gave them a chance. You gave him some life, and he just buried threes right in between your pupils to give him to give the Blazers that lead, and that's just how it is. Trade for Miles and Buddy and sign Mo Harkless. We'll see what they do. Obviously, there's a reason why they haven't made those trades, and I don't have the exact reason for you, but I'm just assuming that what teams are asking for, the Lakers are not willing to do, or they wanted to at least see how the start of the season would go. They're already 0-3, and they got 3 games in front of them that are all against playoff teams, 4 games in front of them. At Denver, at Minnesota, Denver at home, then the Pelicans. Okay, Laker fans, I'm out of here. I appreciate you guys being a part of the show. Just a double whammy for me today. I'm supposed to be at least at Game 7 for the Padres and the Phillies down in San Diego, and let's just say that's not going to be happening. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Sunday afternoon, almost 350 people here for a live stream. I appreciate you, Laker fans. I'll be back. Lakers, Denver Nuggets coming up on Wednesday, and let's see what happens over these next couple of days. Don't forget, tomorrow, by the way, I got Lakers Talk, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. on radio, so feel free to tune in on that one. Thanks for being a part of the show. Have a good rest of your night, and the Lakers are 0-3. All right, Laker fans. We'll see you guys.